Hey everybody, this is Tim with the Bulwark, and we have big poll news today out of Iowa. Here's what you need to know about it. All right, the Iowa poll, the Des Moines Register Iowa poll, this is the gold standard of polls, definitely in Iowa, but maybe all across the country. It predicted a lot of big things, including the fact that 2020 was going to be a little closer than we thought. And so political experts always turn to Ann Selzer and the Des Moines Register poll when they want to see what is happening in the state of Iowa. And we have some movement today in the Republican race for president. Okay, let's look at the numbers. We have Nikki Haley is the big mover. She moves up from 6% up to 16%, a 10-point gain. A lot of that comes at the expense of Meatball Ron DeSantis. He has dropped from 19% down to 16%, and now they are in a head-to-head tie. Meanwhile, who's the guy at number one? We all know Donald Trump. He's up 1% from 42 to 43. So we have a 27-point lead for Donald Trump. I mean, a lot of this is more of the same. Clear pole position for Donald Trump. But what you're going to hear from the pundit class today is the Nikki Haley momentum. And on the one hand, there's a little bit of truth to that in the sense that she is now clearly at minimum neck and neck with Ron DeSantis in that second position in case Donald Trump disappears from planet Earth, God willing. And so that's something. DeSantis had, been calling this a two-man race ever since he got in, even though it's really kind of been a one-man race. But now he can no longer call it that because you got a two-man and a one-woman race. So there's something to say about that. Here's the problem, though. When you dig down deep into the numbers, this is the one thing that you really need to know. So you got Trump at 43, DeSantis at 16, and Haley at 16. Let's say DeSantis dropped out. Let's say Tim Scott dropped out and DeSantis. So Nikki Haley would have 16 plus Tim Scott 7 would be 23. Then if you gave her all of DeSantis at 16, then we'd be in business. Then we might actually have a race, right? You'd have Donald Trump at 43 and then Nikki Haley at 39, right? That's what the DeSantis, Haley, Scott number, if you put them all together, that comes up to 39. That'd be within the margin of error. Here's the problem with that. The whole story of this poll is in the second choice candidates. You look at Ron DeSantis. Of those who named DeSantis as their first choice, 27% name Haley as their second choice, but 41% of them say their second choice is Trump. So you can't just add the Haley and DeSantis numbers together. If DeSantis gets out, Trump would extend his lead on Haley. It would actually hurt her for the field to consolidate, right? All these experts are like, oh, the field needs to consolidate, and once all the non-Trumps consolidate, then maybe they might have a chance. No. There are a lot of MAGA voters out there who like Trump, but they maybe think that it's time to move on from him for electability reasons or for other reasons. Not everybody that is going against Trump has TDS like me, right? Many of these people, are trying to make strategic bets. Maybe these are your college-educated Republicans. They aren't part of Trump's base, but they did really like him, and they like the MAGA movement of the party. They're not big in globalism. They're not big about immigration. They're not big on, the changing cultural mores. They look at Nikki Haley and they see her as one of those never Trump or globalist Republicans. So if they can't get their Ron DeSantis, then they'll just go back to Daddy Trump. And so that is the fundamental problem. In the state Iowa, where Trump is the most vulnerable, where he lost last time to Ted Cruz, right now we're looking at a race that is deadlocked, where he has a 27-point lead. Haley and DeSantis are going to be attacking each other. And if one of them drops out, doesn't even really make that big of a difference. Trump ends up actually gaining if DeSantis drops out. Now, if Haley drops out, 34% of her second choice supporters pick DeSantis, but a lot of them don't like DeSantis. A lot of them are your never Trumper types, and they think DeSantis is too MAGA. So 19% select Scott, 14% select Burgum, and then even another 12% of her second choice people pick Trump. So DeSantis would only pick up a third of her 16, 5%. So, this is it. Like Trump right now in this race, unless something changes, Trump has the nuts. And so you have a big poll here where a lot of the people at Politico and your cable news pundits and that are obsessed with the horse race and need this to be a horse race for ratings and are part of what I called the horse race industrial complex over the weekend. All of them are trying to make a race out of this. But really, when you dig down deep into the numbers, yeah, Haley has gained some, but fundamentally, it still just is a one orange man race. And that's where we are in Iowa. We'll be back for more later. Peace. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.